What's up, everybody? I am the Architect 04,
And I'm Lum.
and you're riding shotgun with the Zucker Bros.
All right. And I think we're all set here.
Yep. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Zucker Bros podcast.
Oh, yes.
We're back for another exciting discussion.
Oh, yeah. Always exciting.
So today we're going to be going over, we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar Gaming.
Yeah, so specifically, we're going to be talking today about the microtransactions that Take-Two Interactive has been kind of coordinating throughout throughout Rockstar's GTA Online experience, basically. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about some more stuff, of course. We're not just going to stick to the topic at hand.
We never do.
But yeah, I mean, just to start off, I mean, what do you really know? Because I know you're not too big of a GTA player.
I'm not
really played it.
I've probably got 30 minutes to an hour worth of GTA5.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Not a lot. I was a big fan and played a lot of the GTAs that preceded GTA 5, right. San Andreas, mm-hmm. Grand Theft Auto 3, mm-hmm. Vice City. Mm-hmm. That was a big one. Oh, yeah. Spent a lot of time in Vice City. But when GTA 5 came out, I think I had just been GTA'd out. Because I remember playing the original GTA for PlayStation, the original PlayStation. Top down, you run around and, when you run somebody over with a car, they're just a little red smear on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing all those games coming up, and now looking back and see what GTA has come from and what they've done over the years. I thought that Vice City was groundbreaking. Pinnacle. And it's like it can't get any better than this.
Nah, they totally blew it out of the water.
Yeah, but
they do that every time.
And Vice City was great. I played. Sure. I have, like I said, I had a ton of time in Vice City.
Right.
And then they upped it even just a little bit more with San Andreas, and gave you a lot of the cool little things. You could work out, and your guy could get fat, and you can eat. Right. You could do all these different things, and then
they had the bicycles.
They had bicycles and motorcycles. Oh, yeah. Well, they had the motorcycles in Vice City,
but they had like bikes. They added bikes and
bicycles,
sure.
And they added. Like you could put hydraulics in your car and all this other, yeah. So I mean, it was a lot of little really additions cool. that they made, and they updated the graphics, and you could do a bunch of other different things, and tattoos, and
for sure.
That's when they added the restaurants where you can go buy food, that sort of stuff, which was really cool.
Fat burger,
and then GTA 5 came out, and which was some years later, and I did, like I said, I did play. I have played a little bit, but by the time GTA 5 came out, I was just like, man, another GTA game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You never played GTA 4. You skipped. You. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I skipped 4.
After 3, you were GTA'd out. I felt big. I mean, you didn't touch 4, right. And 4 was great. Like, honestly, people will tell you or will say that 4 is better than 5 in ways because of just different aspects of the game. There was like being able to have a relationship with like a woman, or having to pay the tolls on the bridges and stuff like that, and to get into the different parts of the city, you had to unlock the city, and just like different aspects of the game that were different. And of course the way the game is played, the physics and all that stuff, it was very it was different. It was good. It was a lot better than what I feel honestly GTA 5 brought, because they took away a lot of those little things, like being able to gain or lose weight and muscle and have a girlfriend and all these little things that made the world more immersive. Right. They took those away and added like other things that improved the game. I feel like graphically, the game from 4 to 5 was probably the biggest jump and increase that we've seen in GTA's, aside from going from GTA 2,
right,
to Vice City or San Andreas, which was really not that big of a graphical leap, if you're asking me.
No,
So
it wasn't, but they added a lot, like you were saying. They added
they
a lot
added
of
things,
those
details,
actions and the little
Yeah.
details, which is a big talking point, I guess, of this week, because it really is the details. Mm-hmm. Graphically, 5 has a lot more detail, right? I mean, it's
and I mean
definitely
it's way more
prettier.
beautiful. The water has a lot, like, I mean, everything. Like, you look at the buildings and you can see the reflection from the sun, hitting off and bouncing off at you in the face or something like
And
that.
the same thing. I mean, the detail in the vehicles, the detail in the people, and the
course.
surroundings, the trees. I mean, you name
No,
it.
I mean the NPCs aren't anything to boast about,
Well,
but
of course not. But
as far as like
cinematics and all that stuff,
No, for
they've
sure.
obviously
They
they've
did a
gotten
really good
better.
job.
So, but that's not really the main reason we're talking about it. What's brought us to this.
That's what I was saying. As far as GTA 4 is concerned, there's a lot of people who will say GTA 4 is better than 5 because of those reasons. Mm-hmm. But GTA 5 has brought so much to the table now that it's like, well, there's a lot of people who obviously now everybody plays Grand Theft Auto 5 online,
right?
Because that's, I mean, if you're playing GTA, it's GTA 5. So,
right.
But yeah, we're not here to talk about the graphics and the evolution of GTAs. We're definitely here to talk about the evolution of their microtransactions.
Yeah,
within the game,
the money monster that is Take-Two.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's records of them sending goons to people's houses, trying so they don't talk or something like that. I don't know. I read something online that was just completely insane. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Is it possible? Sure,
but that's like,
it's a little.
That's something you see in a movie. I mean, come on, let's be honest here.
We are talking about GTA.
Okay,
let's be real. I mean, these
but we're talking about
the
real life here. You know what I mean? This is like, come on, like we're not in GTA.
Yeah, but if these people can do it in a video game, who's to say that they come up with this sort of stuff?
Which is
you never know.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make it right. It's not right.
They may have mob ties. We don't know.
Hey, listen. Fuck them.
I'm just saying. Well,
bring the mob over here. I'll kill them all. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my.
Yeah. No. But I mean, like, let's be honest. Being in it's just like real world stuff. You don't just like that's how you bring a bad name to yourself.
Well, for sure.
In your company.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, they're tied to GTA. Yes, there's a lot of people who know this, but there are also a lot of people who don't know about the buffoonery and about the just absolute crap that Take-Two Interactive has basically put forth and made themselves into be basically. I mean, come on now. Like, by doing stuff like that, like, I would never want to work with you as a company. And I mean, as far as it hasn't really reflected in sales too much, but I will say over the course of these last couple of years, GTA Online has taken a major downslope. A lot of people aren't playing it anymore. A lot of people are whatever,
because it becomes monotonous. It becomes the same thing over and over, and then
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is when you're playing online is they're griefers, people who want to just kill you for no reason, and they reward players for doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? By like making you a target and then them getting like money, you know what I mean, for that, or getting whatever. So it's like, by GTA rewarding griefing, it doesn't make the game fun. It makes you want to buy these microtransactions so that you can pay for the oppressor and pay for, which is, for people who don't know, the oppressor is it's pretty much single-handedly the best vehicle in the game. It can shoot rockets and fly. So at that point, you really don't need any, and it has the best heat-seeking rockets in the game. So at that point, you don't need another vehicle. You really don't need any, you know what I mean? You can kill anybody you want and fly from one end of the map to the other end of the map in 2 minutes and a minute, you know what I mean? So when you put something in the game like that, which is another thing I want to talk about, is how they've implemented their updates in GTA Online, because when you introduce a car or a vehicle that pretty much can do it all, then you create a meta game. You create a meta in your game, which is, if you don't have this, then you're kind of effed. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna suck. You're gonna, like, you gotta work your way up, like, and it's not gonna be fun, and you're not gonna like the game. Like, a lot of people don't enjoy GTA Online because of that reason, and a lot of people will tell you they won't even pick it up anymore because of that reason. Even with, like, new updates like the Cayo Perico heist that they just had, which bring a lot to the table. Like, but it's stuff that they should have brought to the table years ago, and now that they're just bringing it out, and players are like, well, I don't care, like, I'm not gonna jump in just for that.
Well, who's to say? So, I mean, who's to say that this new heist that they just released isn't a, their shot at redemption? They see that they've royally effed things, and now they're trying to make good on it and say, okay, you know what? I can see that we've kind of screwed up here. Why don't we try this and see if this works, and bring people back to the game?
You see, and the only reason why I don't agree with you on that, because I feel like this game has been, it's so long. First of all, you're dragging out this game. They're really re-releasing it again for the new consoles, which is just absolutely insane to me. That they are the definition of money hungry.
Well, yeah, I mean, this game is now, it was released on 360. It's gone through the entire life cycle of the Xbox One.
It's gotten several updates, several re-releases. This game has been re-released and released so many damn times. Come on.
Well, I mean, but okay, let's look at it this way, though. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's still making money,
of course.
If I still have a cash cow in my hands that's still breaking in the money, then why fix it?
Oh, 100%. But that honestly, that doesn't justify you being a bad developer. You're still a terrible developer. If you're sitting there telling me, I'm making billions of dollars off of this game, I know they want a new game, but fuck it. I'm not going to give it to them. I'm just going to keep making millions of dollars off of this game, keep telling them whatever they want to hear, and we'll go through as many years as we need to. And then, you know what?
Well,
right at the
okay,
end,
so
we'll give them GTA 6.
What if GTA 6, because it's been
several years.
Well, let me see.
Literal several years. It's been 7 or 8 years. 8, I think, to be exact. Or 9. 8 or 9. No. It released in 2012.
Okay. So Gta5 released September of 2013.
13. Yeah, 13.
So 2013, that would make it 8 years old that this game has been.
Yeah, it's almost
around.
A decade old.
So at 8 years old, and they're slated for another year or two before they release GTA 6?
My guess is that they release it, or they announce it this year at E3 for sometime next year, and that's my guess.
I could see that.
If they have E3 this year. If they don't have E3 this year, then Rockstar might do their own thing, and if they don't, then it's going to be slated for next year as the announcement. But if they drag it on any longer, honestly, they have all the power. So even if they drag it on any longer, it doesn't matter. People are going to still tune in. People are still going to buy it. People are still going to watch. People are still going to be hyped about it. People are going to be like, oh, finally. You know what I mean?
Right.
So honestly, they can do whatever they want. But in my eyes, anybody who's going to buy it is going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. As much as I say, yeah, well, fuck Rockstar, because, they are money hungry. But at the same time, they make freaking amazing games. So why am I gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna play it. So I don't know. I just feel like it is kind of scummy to do that to your gamers. Those are the people who play your game. These are the people who are spending millions of dollars on your game.
Right, but as one of those supporters, what happens when they drop GTA 6 and it's everything you ever wanted out of the game and more? And then you're like, you know what? The 8-year wait was worth it. The 10 years wait was worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
So
that's what I just hope, and they've said it in the past, they're going to release this game as a small game and then update it as they go. I'm just hoping that they don't put Take-Two in charge of the online and the microtransactions. And because I mean, let's be honest, they're gonna make billions of dollars off of little kids who have their mom's credit cards, like they did the last few years.
I can name a few other games that are doing the same thing right
now.
Oh,
100%. 100%. And they've
feel no remorse.
Well, I mean, they've all have lawsuits still. That they're all still going to court for that stuff.
I mean, yeah, so. But at the same time, everybody's going to court for lawsuits of everything. It just, I mean, if you have a Karen,
right, obviously, we're talking about lawsuits.
The Karens of the world are going to get upset.
But it's not lawsuits between parents and a video game. It's lawsuits from like like big guys, the states and stuff like that. It's like big firms challenging these game companies that are suing these game companies for microtransactions. It's not like, you know what I mean? So yeah, they're probably winning these, but only because of specific wording of shit. They're allowed to get around these, you know what I mean?
Well, when you accept the terms of their user agreement to play their video game online, you
doesn't make it right. That's all I'm saying.
It also doesn't. I mean, just
because
you didn't read their terms of the user agreement,
it's not
you
about
didn't read
reading.
it. I mean,
if you want to play,
it's not read.
I'm sorry, but
read.
If you want to play somebody's game, you're not going to give a fuck about the terms and agreements. You're gonna play the game. So I mean, at that point, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's on the developer. They know people aren't going to read this shit. They know people aren't going to actually put their time into actually looking at terms and agreements and shit like that. Come on now. So then at that point, you're a scummy. Exactly. You are a scummy person. You are a scummy developer for doing that. For being that kind of, for stooping that low just to get some money off of people when you're going to make billions of dollars or millions of dollars off a game anyways, in my eyes. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not going to turn people away from buying GTA 6. Because everybody's going to. We're all going to. Everybody wants to know what the GTA 6 is. What does it have to offer? It's a new story. Is it new maps? Is it bringing all the old maps together into a nice, polished, 4K version? Is it, what is it going to be? People want to know, so they're going to buy it. But I think the purpose of this talk is to just bring light to the scumminess that Take-Two Interactive is. Because in my eyes, sending goons to people home, like blatantly branding yourself as a loan shark, basically loan shark goons that that are like you're selling yourself to us, like, you know what I mean? When you're gonna buy all this, like, I don't care, you're a slave, you're literally a slave. And when you brand and they openly do that kind of stuff, it doesn't sit right with me. I don't feel like I don't want to put money into it.
Well, yes, and
you know what I mean?
I agree with you. I mean, obviously, I haven't put money into any of these games myself personally, and as an outsider looking in on this, the way I see these sort of scenarios is it's a predator prey situation.
Yeah.
And obviously they're opportunistic predators in a sense that they're going to go for the easiest low-hanging fruit, which are going to be the people that they know for a fact aren't going to read the terms and conditions. They're not going to read the user's agreements. They're not going to go through this, so that when it comes time and they're like, oh, hey, that's not this, you can't do that. And they're like, well, yeah, we can, because you said here, right here. See, you said I accept.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
You accepted it. So but for those who are like, nah, I'm not about that life. Mm-hmm. I'm good. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be smart enough to say, give it a once over. Obviously, you're not gonna read it in full detail, but when you come across something, you're like, something doesn't smell right here. Right. It doesn't pass the smell test. Then I'm gonna step away and say, you know what, have at it.
Right. But then you don't get to enjoy that game that you've been waiting 10 years for.
Yeah, well, but
that's scummy to me.
But at the same time,
forcing people to do something because that they've been waiting so long.
So let me ask you this: what are you saying that they're going to be forcing people into?
Microtransactions. I mean, I'm not saying every game has microtransactions. I'm just saying that the way that Take-Two has gone about it these last few
so
years.
It's either you pay and you have fun, or you don't pay and just don't play the game. Period.
Right, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So
that's
you
how
have to.
It is.
I mean, I understand.
Right now.
It's like, okay, I had to go and pay $60 for the game itself. So now I've already spent $60 in investment.
Yep.
They give me so much that I can play it. Okay, whatever the campaign and whatever, and then I can go online and I can play the online mode and play it for free because I already bought the game, which is fine. But now if I go online and I want to be competitive, I'm not sure what the competitive scene for GTA 5 is, but
for sure.
But if I want to be the baddest, the baddest man one on the block or in the city or whatever on that server, then I've got to pay them even more money to get XYZ to be a part of it. But we've seen the same scenario in Call of Duty, in Medal of Honor. These games are just the same, and they started before I would say they started before GTA 5
They all have
did.
lawsuits still, too. EA has been the biggest microtransactioner ever, which is why they get so much shit for it.
What are the lawsuits? What are the lawsuits for exactly? Why are I want to know why people are suing them for microtransactions?
It's gambling. That's what they're being sued for.
They're gambling lawsuits,
right? It's because it's for microtransactions that are like loot boxes, so they don't show you what you're getting. It's a random item.
Okay.
But you're paying money for it, right? That's what like a lot of those Fortnites and all these, because they have loot boxes, right? And it's random, you don't know what you're getting, and that is a form of gambling apparently. And I can see that because you don't know what you're getting. It's a gamble.
What's funny is it's funny you say that because there's a ton of mobile games.
Oh, 100%.
That are 100% that way.
Oh,
and that's how they make their money. But those games also are 100% free to play. You don't have to pay anything to play them.
But they're gambling.
And you can actually play the game from start to finish and still be somewhat competitive. Obviously you're not going to be Marvel Strike Force. A lot of the squad strategy games. So Marvel Strike Force, Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes, Raid Shadow Legends.
Right, for sure.
Even like
again, and if you're not putting money into those games, you're not gonna whatever, but you're also not gonna compete. Like,
well, for example, I've played both Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I'm currently playing Marvel Strike Force. I have also played Clash Royale was another one, which is a little bit different. Obviously, the actual gameplay itself is a little bit different, but the idea is the same as far as the way the money structure is set up, and they have certain, like, you've got chests that you can open to get certain cards, and you don't know what you're gonna get, but if you spend money, you can spend money and get. Right. An extra chest where you're guaranteed a legendary and then some other cards, but you still don't know what legendary you're going to get.
And I don't think that's the best way to do a microtransaction if you're going to do it. I believe knowing what you're going to get before is better than just gamble.
Well, and they have those where they have offers as well, where they offer you, okay, you can spend this much money to get this, just buy it outright, or you can spend maybe $2 or $5 less and get a chance to get that.
For sure.
So they give you the option.
Which is on those mobile devices or on the mobile games, it's a lot more common and stuff, and it's a lot more, I want to say, accepted in the mobile community, whereas in
it's expected.
And what I'm saying, in the gaming community, like with AAA games and stuff like that, we didn't grow up with that. We didn't grow up with microtransactions. We didn't ask for those. We didn't want those, but they were given to us. And now that these bigger companies are dealing with these situations, and more parents are finding their kids take their credit cards and spend money on things that they don't need.
Well, maybe it's mobile gaming where this whole idea came from, and these mobile games that were free, like, what were some of the first ones were Sugar Rush? No, not Sugar Rush. I'm sorry.
Candy Crush.
Yeah. Candy Crush, and some of these, and even I want to say it was even before that with the Facebook games, where they had the, like
I don't think
Farmtown.
I don't think there was microtransactions. I think you could buy the games, but
no, the games were free on Facebook. You could play the game for free, but if you wanted to get a little, you could buy something to get ahead. Buy these gems, or you buy the dollars, or they give you coins for free, but you could buy dollars, and then the dollars get you, whatever. And that's where that was the birth of microtransactions in gaming. But it wasn't console gaming. It wasn't PC gaming. It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't AAA titles.
It was mobile.
But these big title companies that were putting out, console games, and obviously they were making their money, and they had to project the sales. Is this game going to do, are we going to sell enough copies of this game to make our money back and then some? And they had to sell that to investors. Well, now it's an easier sell when you're wanting to develop a game. You go say, listen, I'm going to make the game free to play. However, what the microtransaction model has shown us over the last 15 years is that instead of selling a game for $60 a copy, we can sell it, we even sell it for $10 to $20 a copy, and then put in microtransactions for them to gain items or to progress faster, to be more competitive, and we can make the money. So I mean, so the developer gets to make the game that they want to make because they have the investment money to back them,
right?
And it's an easier sell. Like, yeah, we're gonna
and
not only that, but the earning potential doesn't just stop at 30 million people are going to buy the game, so we'll make whatever $1 million. It's no, we're gonna have 30 million players in the game at any given time, and out of those 30 million, we're gonna be making 100,000 of them spend $5 a month. We're gonna make $500,000 a month for the next 8 years, because that's how many people are going to be playing and spending money every month.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so at that point, over 8 years, $500,000 a month, we're talking about close hundreds of millions at least. You know what I mean?
Right. And right here I have that article about it was a Kotaku
So quick math on what I was just talking about. If they were to make $500,000, that's 100,000 people spend $5 every month for 8 years. You're looking at $48 million over the course of 8 years, and that's just in maybe a fraction of the player base spending $5 a month.
Yeah, that's insane.
So you can see where microtransactions it's obviously it's a moneymaker, and it doesn't
obviously you have to have no brain cells to see that microtransactions make money. But yes, they make money. Does it make it? What I'm saying, my argument is, does that make it right? Does that make the developers in the right? Does that make these companies right to do this? It's okay, right? It's all okay. Like, they don't have to have any that's, to me, it doesn't seem right. Honestly, I for GTA 6, yes, I'm going to buy it. Will I buy any microtransactions for the game? Probably not. And I mean, I say that now, who knows? I mean, it just depends. If GTA 6 is online, if the online in GTA 6 is super lit and there's a lot of good stuff in it, then I might.
But see that, but I don't think. But again, that comes back. That comes back to now it's just it's a conscious decision on where do I want to spend my money? Where do I feel which game is worth me spending my hard-earned dollar on the microtransaction for me to enjoy that game?
That's what I'm saying. For me personally, it will not be with microtransaction games. Like, I'm not gonna, I will probably want to, but because of those microtransactions, I'm not gonna enjoy the game like I want to. Because in order to get ahead, or in order to get the gear I want or whatever, I have to spend my money on it. And if I enjoy the developers and I enjoy the games and those people are good, then yes, I will spend that money.
And that's your decision. That's
the
decision you make.
But I feel like And that, yeah, for sure. And I feel like that's the decision a lot of people are going to have to come to, whether or not they want to or will not want to. And that's all I'm saying is I believe that it's not right. I'm not going to probably spend $1 in microtransactions with these next few companies or with these next few developers that are putting out AAA title games like GTA 6 and even Valhalla, the Assassin's Creed series, like all these other things. What I'll do is I will pay for any pre-order goodies. Like, I don't mind paying for pre-order goodies because you're actually paying for things that you know you're gonna get when the game starts. But any loot box or random thing, that's another thing I was gonna say, is with GTA's microtransactions, at least I can say you know what you get when you buy. You're not getting a gamble. It's not like Fortnite or any of other Ubisoft's games like Blizzard, the Overwatch, and all these other like BRs and Apex Legends and stuff like that, where you don't know what you're gonna get really. They have these loot boxes, and you can get a random item in these loot boxes. That doesn't sit well because it is like, it's a gamble. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. And at least with Rockstar's microtransactions, you aren't getting a gamble. You know what you're going to get when you buy. So I can say that that is a little better. I just don't personally like the way that Take-Two goes about it. And I don't like the way they went about. It was a YouTuber apparently that made like some review or something, and they sent investigators over to his house like after he made the video about it. Like, come on, like, to me that's just like, it seems like shady. It seems like you're trying to hide something, like by trying to like silence somebody from saying anything. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. And I mean you can look at it whatever way you want, but at the end of the day, that part of Rockstar, I probably won't ever agree with. Again, I'm gonna play GTA 6. I'm gonna, you know what I mean, I'm gonna enjoy it myself probably when it comes out. So
yeah, I think we definitely have some opposing views here.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, for me,
you don't care. You're like,
well, that's not like, no. It's not that I don't care.
Microtransactions.
No.
It's okay.
Yes.
Well,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
So microtransactions, in my eyes, if I have to pay $60 for the game, I don't want to spend money on microtransactions. So no, like for instance, Destiny. Destiny came out. It was a great game. It was $60, just like everything else. You had to spend for the game up front, and then they released DLC, and you had to spend, $20 for or $10 or $15 or $20 for the DLC whenever the DLCs came out, or you could spend another $35 or $40 and buy the season pass, and the season pass will unlock that year's DLC for the game, and then you don't have to spend any more money. You spend that, so you're spending $60, and then that I was okay with. I was okay with it. It's like, okay, they're releasing another large part of the game, and they want another $30 for it. I get that it took them, they spent time and money and all the entire office and overhead and everything that it costs. All their hardware and programming and all this stuff is what it costs them to put into it, and they deserve compensation for that, right?
Of course.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, if with games like Sea of Thieves, for instance, Rare is a great developer. They've been around forever. They treat their community really well. And they put out Sea of Thieves for a very low entry cost. If you didn't have Game Pass for Xbox, then you can play Sea of Thieves for, it was like $20.
Yeah.
$20 or $30, you buy Sea of Thieves, and because there is microtransactions in the game, and I don't have a problem spending or giving Rare and spending money on those microtransactions because...
Well, first of all, those microtransactions are very cheap. I mean, one of the items probably costs like a dollar or two. So,
well, I mean, a ship set will set you back $30 if you buy an entire ship set.
I would say
maybe 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say ship set, and then like some maybe like an emote, a couple emotes or something like that, like a little bit. But yeah, no, I feel that.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like
that's fine.
If you want
what you're getting
from nose to keel, you want sales and everything, and the $30, the capstan and everything, $30.
That's good. That's a good price.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, because Rare, and I want to say that even that's not even a good example because they did come in at a low price. They release a ton of content. And their microtransactions are paying for it.
Yeah.
Obviously they're well.
I wouldn't even say that they're paying for it because the game has so much now in it that honestly, well, I guess yes, those are what is continuing to bring money into the accounts because they don't offer the game, they offer the game for such a small price, and because I do feel like the microtransactions in the game are cheaper than other microtransactions and other games. I mean, that as far as that's concerned, yeah, I mean, I think those, that's good. It could, but I don't think that that's carrying really the weight of Sea of Thieves, do you?
Yeah, it has to. Unless Rare,
well,
unless Rare is making game. I understand Rare makes other games and they don't just strictly make Sea of Thieves, right? Sea of Thieves isn't their only platform, right. It's not their only game. For sure. They have a ton of other games. They have other ways of making money, and I understand that because at the end of the day, these developers are companies,
right? And they make deals with other companies so that they continue to make money over the years.
They're businesses. Right. They're not in the business to lose money because they're not going to waste time on developing games to just hand it out for free and say, okay, here you go play it and have a great time. I don't want anything for it. Right. I mean, they put a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of their devotion into these games, and I get that. Red Dead's another big Rockstar game that also has come. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. It's worth the $60. Oh, yeah. I 100% agree.
And they didn't add many microtransactions. They did add a few of them, but there weren't a lot. And it was all of them.
But this game's also not 8 years old.
Of course, it's only a couple of years old now. So, and I mean, but even still, within that last few years, they really haven't added too much in that area because I also don't think that that's where they want to put a lot of their resources. But there are microtransactions in that game, and I would say that, I would say that base game, honestly, because it's so expensive and there's so much into it, I'd say the game itself carries for the money at least. Just people buying the game itself carries that over. I don't think any of the microtransactions for that game really are too appealing. But of course, I don't know.
That's also,
that's my opinion.
If that's the case, it's not yet because it's only a matter of time that this is something that isn't. It's not going away.
No,
it's only going to
microtransactions are never going.
It's honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think it's only going to get worse. It's only going to become the gold standard,
which is why
of games and gaming in general. And it's going to be a matter of embracing it now and saying, okay, now I really just need to figure out where I want to choose to put my money and who I want to give my money to. And if Take-Two Interactive, obviously, yes, I agree with you, sending people to somebody who reviewed it and was trying to bring to light some things that were like, hey man, this is a little questionable. What the hell's going on here? And then next thing you know, you got guys knocking on your door going, hey, I used to, blah, 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 whatever. Then
and you're a YouTuber. Come on, dude. At the same time, it's not that serious.
I agree it's not, but yeah, I agree that's definitely questionable when it comes to, business dealings, right? As far as, should Take-Two Interactive be behaving that way? But let's also be a little more clear too that Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games, while they are partnered in this, obviously because Rockstar is going to get their cut of whatever is made because they're the ones that put the game out, but Take-Two is the one that specifically has control over the money how the microtransactions are distributed and made and all that stuff.
And again, I don't think they did it bad. I think they did a good job at putting out the microtransactions that they did, and they did it incrementally. So they only had a couple shark cards in the beginning, and they expanded it over the years. But again, just with everything that has happened with them in the past and everything with I just don't think that they handled it correctly. And the YouTuber himself has also came out and said that what he said was a little questionable too. Maybe he shouldn't have said what he said, but at the same time, I think it's just hearsay at that point. It's like, hey, you believe what you want. You believe, you know, you
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there's always three sides to a story, right? There's
his,
the two
hers, and the truth,
two people that, his theirs and the truth. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for today.
Oh yeah. We've definitely been going on for a little over 40 minutes now, so we are going to Bubby wants to go out. That's who you hear. Colton here. He's with us. He's always with us.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here, guys. We love you so much.
Yep.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope enjoyed the talk. I mean, come on now, GTA 6. You can't not be excited about it, guys. Let's go ahead. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to hear next. Let me know if you enjoyed the talk and how you guys feel about this situation, because that's what we want to know. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video, guys. Peace.
See ya.